shit about the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'ma step no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, Lord, not me. I can never be the one you wanna stuff for. Money, that machine. The bell got my stove. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. Out in life in 9/11, folks. Matte black, liquor clean. Dead presses in and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Pictures thinner than a penny hoe.
I don't do that. In my prison, you do what I tell you.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that saves. Over the end line.
Fine. Yeah. 319.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. They go play action here on 1st down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now a handoff to Miller. And an alley to run. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Here we go. 58.
A first down carry now for Miller. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Here we go. 58.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. The middle, Sharp's got it complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. A little juke. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10.
Detroit!
After the interception, here's Darnold. And his first look is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
No. Check. Patriot.
2nd down and 10. Darnold. He's going to let this one go deep. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
No. Check. Patriot.
Darnold from the gun. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. And the pitch goes to Miller. Quick move by Miller. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Throwing is Rodgers. Trying to lay one up deep. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
We are going. Stay Mike.
They'll toss it to Miller. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They'll rifle this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Cooper was the target there. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Tackle made there by Jordan Poyer.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Here we go.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. A first down throw, Darnold. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And now they are knocking on the door inside Pittsburgh's 10. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Easy, easy.
They'll try to run it in. Johnson. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A good run that time. They couldn't close him down, and now 9 yards makes for a very different situation on 4th and goal. Now Chandler Catanzaro for the field goal here. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, you knock out too many attempts shorter than that one. And I don't think this was blocked. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Inside. Over. Zoom. Hey, check 26.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 36. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Here's Foles. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Johnson. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Easy.
They'll try and run with McKinnon. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 again.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Jarek McKinnon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are in for 6. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers' offense now, they head back onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
They begin with a run by Miller. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's a give to Miller. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. He can't get him down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least 1 home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Foles. Throw left side complete. It's Grant. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Go, go, go!
Now Foles. Flush to his right. That's complete to Meredith. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. Third down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Be alert, be alert.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it, dumping it off for Johnson. Room to run inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. A good pickup there, a 22.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Steps away to his left. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down.
Some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14th. And the Steelers signal for another timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. As his guys are in for 6. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 36. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Brought in over the middle by Green. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. flushed out right. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Kerryon Johnson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And the Steelers set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Escaping the pressure right. Underneath for Johnson. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because
pressure comes and the Steelers take him down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him.
Go!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's had it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he didn't make all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Zoom. Here we go.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Gary Conlon. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point good by Catanzaro. And that makes the score 28-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled. Partner,
join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. That, his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Dancing. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Looking long for Westbrook. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And that last penalty makes this third down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw. Looking long for Westbrook. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens add on. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the lead will swell by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Well. Going.
And they'll try the ground game here with a running back. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Oko, over here.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Rodgers. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Baltimore. Foles now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Johnson. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And his throw is incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground.
Receiver.
Looking to throw. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. They were looking for Johnson that time. Now they get a fourth quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Rodgers going to throw. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
88. Here we go.
Now Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Being chased out left. And that'll be incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, 104 yards. And the Ravens continue to pour it on. trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this.
I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit, being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Zone.
On first down, Rodgers throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And they'll go on the ground. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And a nice spin into some open field. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. What's that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word. I just kept using it.
So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Watch right. Hey, where y'all going?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And nothing but daylight ahead. 20. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Gold able to tack on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Gold now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. Right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Ravens on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 16. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Single, slot. Hey, goal, sound goal.
There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Baltimore, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it's their first stumble of the season as they'll dip to 8-1 on the year. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.